This is Fan Formula on the 4th of September. Get on with the questions. Question 1. Who's the best driver of the day on race day in your opinion, and why? Well, I think it's hard to dispute Jenson Button not having a good drive, because it was long overdue. Sebastian Vettel did a fantastic job. I'm not a massive fan of him, but credit where it's due. And Raikkonen for holding on to third. Just well, he had to hang on for third whilst he had the high downforce on the car, and an amazing overtake on Schumacher through Eau Rouge. It was just brilliant. They're the three stand-up ones. I would also perhaps put in Bruno Senna for not making it easy for anyone to overtake him at all. Question 2. The first lap incident which ended the race for several people. Who do you think was to blame before the penalty was issued? Well, Maldonado had nothing to do with that at all. A lot of people keep roping him in, and I don't understand why they're roping him in, because he didn't do anything. He jumped at the start. Grosjean was too far back for it even to matter to him. I read on the BBC F1 website, I think Don posted the link when I saw it the first time, that maybe Kobayashi's smoking brakes, according to Gary Anderson, might have caused a little bit of bother for some people. But I think the long and short of it is it was Grosjean. Because Hamilton had nowhere to go. He turned right, he was in the wall. Backed off, he would get rammed. Accelerated, he hit Alonso, and turned left, he'd start the accident sooner. So, long and short of it, I hate to say it, because I know Tiff and Vicky rather like Grosjean, but unfortunately I think it was Grosjean who caused that accident. Before the penalty was issued, I think it was Grosjean's fault, even before the penalty was issued. So, question 3. Twitter controversy has made another headline for F1 this week, with Lewis Hamilton's disappearing tweet. What do you make of the incident and the way in which it was reported upon? Well, there wasn't it many incidents? Not many. Wasn't there some incidents of bad language in colloquialism? That is homies, and what the hell, what the fuck, whatever you were saying. And there's also the TwitPic incident, Instagram, whatever the fuck he's using. I'm not completely sure how he knows how to use Twitter, but I'm thought his head was so far up his arse, and no crowbar in the world was long enough to get his head out of his own arse. Anyway, I think maybe it's been made a little bit. Some of it's been over dramatised, because he is frustrated. He was frustrated and things. However, what I make of the incident, I was reading a comment on one of the BBC F1 blogs, and someone got it right. Someone, for me, got the point exactly right. McLaren, in many ways, are breeding a monster in the way of Lewis Hamilton. They're just not. They're letting him get away with too much. They're not telling him to grow up. They're not, and they're just pandering too much to the way he behaves. Whilst it might sound, my brother says it makes me sound a bit Eddie Jordan in this approach. I'm not quite sure how, because I'm not wearing a loud shirt, and I'm not tiny, and I'm not Irish or grey. I would have, to me, Hamilton, from what I hear from doing the rounds about what Hamilton wants from his contract. To me, this would have been the straw that broke the camel's back, and for me, I would have done one of many things. I would have either told him, unless you turn it around and help us win the constructors, you're out of McLaren. I would have also potentially sacked him on the spot. Said, get out. We're not even, get Gary Clafford in if he's in the pit lane. If not, we'll get someone else in. Well, I'm not even sure. This is probably stepping in slightly into the realm of the fantasy. I would have gone out to HRT and said, Pedro de la Rosa, you're in McLaren. HRT, would you mind taking Lewis for a race? I think it's just an incident with Lewis. It's proving that he's not very mature at all. Gary Anderson, he's got a knack of being right. He also said, he made a point in his blog which I think was quite true. It was that Lewis hasn't had to. The last person who scored a non-McLaren front row was Kovalainen in 2008 at Silverstone. Every pole position has been Hamilton's own way. So this has been the first time, Lewis has been under that sort of stress. And when Jensen is in the zone, and the car is just right, well, as everyone else is, but Jensen, for some reason, seems to make Jensen even more, even a much better driver. When Jensen's got the car in the sweet spot, it's just on fire, like in the Brawn at the start of 2009. He got that car constantly in the sweet spot, and he was unstoppable. As demonstrated when he couldn't get the car in the sweet spot, and he was nowhere. And many times with the McLaren as well. I think some of it's Hamilton suddenly realising he's got a decent teammate. Suddenly he's got a teammate that, despite 50 races for McLaren, or 49 previous races for McLaren with no pole position, close but no cigar. Was it Monza 2010? Effed up. Jensen went for high downforce, and he nearly got the pole. It was only because Alonso was running low downforce that he didn't get it. I think what it is, it's highlighting Lewis Hamilton is not very mature. He's been pampered and babied too much by McLaren. More recently, he's been babied far too much. I think if it was any other driver, he would have been sacked. I think if Jensen had done that, he might have been sacked. If it was Alonso who had done that, he would have been sacked. Massa would have been sacked. Barrichello, anyone would have been sacked. And I think it's just because it's Hamilton. And that would have been the same across the board. If Hamilton had Stefano Domenicali or Frank Williams as a boss, even Christian Horner, and Ross Brawn, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have taken such a baby-stepped approach to this. So we put it. Well, that's making sense. They wouldn't take such a cotton bud, tightly, must be kind, must be nice approach to it. It's just a bit dangerous, really. I think. I think Lewis needs to get the hell out of McLaren. It's demonstrating he's frustrated with the team. But if he keeps going on like this, then he will only be able to stay at McLaren because no other team will hire him. Frank Williams would really love to hire Lewis, probably won't because he can't afford him, unfortunately. But I think if Lewis continues such antics, I think even someone who would really like him as a driver like Frank Williams wouldn't take a chance. Although maybe the theory is that Lewis will keep sort of stuffing it for himself, so then he gets fired and will take a lower paid job in a not so good team, but then give it a better result. Might be quite well played by Frank Williams. Might be very well played. Although if I was Frank Williams and Lewis Hamilton was my driver, I would have taken my copy of the Financial Times and given him a beating around the head. And that's what I would have done with Maldonado this weekend as well. Side topic. I would have taken my Financial Times and just sort of passed off. What the hell are you doing? Like Pastel, but it's just, come on, man. It's costing the team a lot of money having to repair your car on a weekly basis. Anyway, a bit off topic. Bonus question. Jenson Button started off the second part of the season with a magnificent win in Spa. Do you think this is his catalyst to reignite his battle for the title, or will he drop off in a similar fashion to the beginning of his season? I don't know. Long shot of it is, I don't know. It'd be nice to see Jenson win. As a Williams man, I would like, obviously I'd like Bruno Senna and Williams to win the championship, but they're never ever going to be at the moment. If they can improve again the next two seasons as much as they have done F3 to F3 4, then maybe. But of the top people, I would love to see Jenson win it again, because I think he and Alonso and Webber deserve the title more than anyone else. Because, well, Whether because time's not on his side in Formula 1, plus, you know, he's been so close in the past few years, it's like, oh, come on, he just deserves it, he just deserves it. Alonso because he's a clever soul, very clever, and if he wins it in the same way he's won his last few races, apart from the start in Hungary, but, you know, the way he's collected points, then, you know, the championship will reward the brain power, and Jenson, because again, on many ways, time isn't on his side in Formula 1, but also I think he deserves it more than Hamilton would, because Hamilton, I don't know why, I think Hamilton's just got this sort of self-centered, I deserve the championship. As well, you ain't gonna fucking win if you keep acting like an arse. But whether it'll get his title battle back on, anything's possible. I mean, we saw Maldonado put it in third and Kobayashi go second, so he could still do it. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to know until the flag drops in Brazil. The checkered flag drops in Brazil, that is. If he can if Jenson can put in a repeat performance in Monza, like he has done in Spa, like he did in Spa, then why not? It would be certainly the case, but he needs to be on the podium now every race to the end, I think. The Red Bull seem to have found their spark again. Ferrari have gone off a bit, but then again, that didn't help. That Ferrari's off was caused by a Renault Lotus thing, Frenchman. It will certainly do him some good, because I think he's been a bit. Some of Jenson's drives before the summer break, I think some of them were a bit lackluster because he had a difficult weekend. His performances were a bit lackluster, and then the next weekend it was a lackluster weekend, so this weekend didn't go down according to plan either. So I'd love to see it be his reignition for the title. We just got to wait and see how it goes, I guess. Anyway, that's the end of this fan formula. We're doing with my blatant blog plugs. I said blog plugs. One is for the netcars.com. Netcars has changed its layout. It's a very good web layout. If people don't know what Netcars is, it's sort of a social version of Auto Trader with blogs and things, which I do one of them. My F1 blog, and it also incorporates some. Excuse me. It incorporates some. Piece went up today with 4x4s and soft roaders, which I cannot stand. The soft roaders, I love a muddy Defender. And also the other blog I write with Russ Edwards, the at Road Race Partsman. At Road Race. I'll get the fucking words right in a minute. At Road Race Parts. It's the blog is pureracingfuel.wordpress.com. I think he's working on a couple of pieces about Trans Am racing. For those who don't know what Trans Am is, it's not quite like it's a bit like touring cars in the fact it's it's pretty much factory machinery. How the difference is touring cars, what you've got 200, 300 horsepower maybe. Trans Am 830 horsepower per car. And this isn't NASCAR in the circle. This is proper on tracks as well, like Watkins Glen and Indian places. It looks really good, and if I can get over to America, that'd be brilliant. Some Storm Space stuff. We're still looking for a voice for the Where's My Liberty series. It's need a female voice or a guy who can do a very good and convincing falsetto without having to use a clamp, shall we put it? That would be good. There was apparently a video went up the other week, which I have no idea what that's about. I just think my brother's been meddling with it. He's still, because I gave him the login details for the other video I've been asking to do for weeks and months now, and he said he was nearly finished. I gave him the login details, and then I heard a video went up, and I went and had a look, and it had gone. So not got a clue what's going on there. Anyway, that's it for this fan formula. I've got to get off and write to my landlord to find out why he's not paying me. Well, not my landlord, my former landlord, to find out why he's not paying me back. But well, at least we're going to start full-time work for 5 weeks till the end of the contract at Santander. Hopefully we can go to the mailer or to probate agreement or the complaints department there. It's better than nothing. Anyway, better crack on. We'll see you guys later. If anyone even obviously this phone. And I know Dom that I haven't looked at the camera properly again. However, you can tell lights go on here. Computer is desktop, so I haven't got a laptop to look straight in. So a bit beyond my control, unfortunately. Anyway, see you later.